Now let me be very, very clear about something. When we talk about the greatest basketball players to ever grace God's green earth, we are not talking about regular season games. We are not talking about all-star appearances. We are talking about the NBA Finals. This is the grandest stage of them all. This is where legends are made and where legacies are either cemented in glory or tarnished by defeat. It is the ultimate test of a superstar's will, their skill, and their ability to lead their team to the promised land. You can have all the stats in the world, but if you can't get it done in June, what are we even talking about? The pressure of the NBA Finals is something that mere mortals cannot comprehend. The lights are brighter, the scrutiny is more intense, every single possession, every shot, every defensive stop is magnified 1,000 times over. This is where we separate the good from the great, and the great from the truly iconic. It's not just about showing up, it's about showing out. It's about rising to the occasion when your back is against the wall and the entire world is watching your every move. A player's record in the finals tells us everything we need to know about their killer instinct and their ability to perform when it matters most. Think about what it means to even get to the finals. It's a grueling, months-long marathon through the regular season followed by a brutal, punishing playoff gauntlet. You have to conquer your conference, vanquishing foe after foe, just for the right to compete for that glorious Larry O'Brien trophy. So when a player makes it to that final series, the expectation is not just to compete. The expectation is to win. It is the culmination of an entire year's worth of blood, sweat, and tears. And that, right there, is why we judge the greats by what they do or fail to do on this ultimate stage. Therefore, when we engage in these barbershop debates about who is the GOAT, the conversation must begin and end with the finals. It is the definitive measuring stick. It is the final examination for which there are no retakes. Your performance in those 4 to 7 games will be etched in the annals of basketball history forever. It is the ultimate testament to a player's greatness. We look at the wins and losses because at the end of the day, that's what this game is all about, winning championships. It's about the rings, and don't you ever forget that. Now let's talk about the man who set the standard. The man whose name is synonymous with winning. I'm talking about Michael Jeffrey Jordan, his airness. When MJ got to the NBA Finals, it was over. It was a wrap. There was no doubt, no debate, no discussion to be had. He went to the finals 6 times, and he came away with 6 championships. 6 for 6. That is perfection. He never even allowed a series to go to a Game 7. He walked in, he took care of business, and he walked out with the trophy and the finals MVP award every single time. It was clinical. It was surgical. Let me spell it out for you. Michael Jordan faced Hall of Famers like Magic Johnson, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, and the duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton. He faced them all, and he vanquished them all. There was no team he couldn't conquer, no defense he couldn't solve. He didn't just win, he dominated. He demoralized his opponents. Remember the shrug game against Portland in 1992? He was hitting threes like they were layups and just looked over at the broadcast table as if to say, I can't even explain it myself. That's the kind of supreme confidence that comes from knowing you are simply the best. And let's not forget the flu game in the 1997 finals against the Utah Jazz. The man was sick. He was depleted, dehydrated, and should have been in a hospital bed. Instead, he put on his uniform, went out on that court, and dropped 38 points to lead his Chicago Bulls to a pivotal victory. That is the heart of a champion. That is a level of will and determination that we have rarely seen since. He refused to lose. It was not in his DNA. He would not be denied. His legacy is not just about the winning. It's about the sheer force of will he imposed on the game. When you have a perfect record on the biggest stage, there is nothing anyone can say. 6 appearances, 6 titles, 6 finals MVPs, no losses. That is the benchmark. That is the gold standard by which all other superstars are measured. Michael Jordan never tasted defeat in the NBA Finals. He never had to walk off that court as the loser. He never had to watch another team celebrate while he went back to the locker room empty-handed. That flawless record is the single most powerful argument in his favor as the greatest of all time. It is, quite frankly, indisputable. Now let's look at the modern era, and we have to start with the man they call King LeBron James. And I will give the man his credit. He is one of the greatest talents we have ever seen, an unbelievable player. But when we talk about his record in the NBA Finals, it is a completely different story from Michael Jordan's. LeBron has been to the finals an incredible 10 times, which is a testament to his greatness and longevity. However, he has only won 4 of those series. His record is 4 wins and 6 losses. That is a losing record, and you cannot escape that fact. Let's be honest here. A 4-6 record is just not on the same level as the legends we are discussing. Think about the 2011 finals. LeBron and his super team in Miami were heavily favored against the Dallas Mavericks, and they lost. Dirk Nowitzki, an all-time great but with a far lesser supporting cast, outplayed them. Then you have the San Antonio Spurs dismantling his Miami team in 2014. These losses matter. They are part of the story. While his 2016 comeback from a 3-1 deficit against the 73-win Warriors was an all-time great accomplishment, it does not erase the 6 times he came up short. Now, let's pivot to the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba. Kobe went to the finals 7 times, he won 5 championships and lost 2. That's a 5-2 record. That is a winning record. That is the record of a stone-cold killer who, more often than not, got the job done. He won 3 straight titles alongside Shaquille O'Neal. And then, after Shaq left, he silenced all the doubters by leading the Lakers to 2 more championships as the undisputed #1 option, winning back-to-back Finals MVP awards in 2009 and 2010. He proved he could win on his own terms. And then we have the most disrespected, unappreciated superstar in the history of the sport, Tim Duncan, the big fundamental. Timmy went to the NBA Finals 6 times with the San Antonio Spurs, the same number of appearances as Michael Jordan. And what was his record? He won 5 championships and lost only once. 5 wins, 1 loss. That is pure excellence. That is sustained greatness over an incredibly long period. From his first title in 1999 to his last in 2014, Duncan was the anchor, the leader, and the quiet, stoic force behind a dynasty. His record is simply superior to LeBron's. So let's put it all together. Let's make it plain and simple so that everybody can understand. When the championship is on the line, some players rise to the occasion and some do not. Michael Jordan was perfect, 6 for 6. Kobe Bryant was a proven winner, 5 for 7. Tim Duncan was the model of consistency and excellence, 5 for 6. These are the records of champions. These are men who, when they reached the pinnacle of the sport, sealed the deal. They understood the assignment, and they delivered the hardware. Then you have LeBron James with a record of 4 wins and 6 losses. And let us not forget Stephen Curry, who also has a finals record of 4 wins and 2 losses. Even Steph, a phenomenal player in his own right, has a better winning percentage and fewer losses on that stage than LeBron. I am not taking away from LeBron's 4 rings. Winning a championship in the NBA is incredibly difficult, but we are comparing him to the gods of the game. And when you do that, you have to look at the whole picture, not just the highlights. The blemishes matter. The losses matter. Having a stellar finals record is what separates the legends. It elevates a player's legacy from great to immortal. It's the ultimate trump card in any debate. When someone says LeBron is the GOAT, the counter is simple. How can the greatest of all time have a losing record in the NBA Finals? How can he have more losses on that stage than Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan combined? Jordan never lost. Kobe only lost twice. Duncan only lost once. These are the facts. They are not my opinion. They are cold, hard, and indisputable facts. In conclusion, the argument is crystal clear. The NBA Finals are the ultimate proving ground, and a player's performance there defines their legacy. Michael Jordan's flawless 6-0 record puts him in a stratosphere all by himself. Kobe Bryant's 5-2 record and Tim Duncan's 5-1 record demonstrate a level of championship pedigree that is simply a cut above LeBron James's 4-6 mark. It's not personal, it's just basketball. Winning is the name of the game, and when it mattered most, Jordan, Kobe, and Duncan simply won more and lost less. And that is why their finals legacies outshine the Kings.